My husband's former co-worker is utterly convinced that she and my husband have been involved in an affair. Now, she's even claiming that he got her pregnant. But let me assure you, there's absolutely no way he's the father. I don't know your Reddit username, but you've finally given me a reason to use this throwaway account. I know you browse this subreddit, especially after you sought advice here, and were told to come clean to me about your supposed affair with my husband. I personally couldn't find any thread that matched this situation. It might have been on the wrong subreddit, or perhaps you deleted it. So, if you're reading this and it sounds familiar, then yes, this message is directed at you. I have no intention of speaking to you directly ever again, but I want to make a few things crystal clear. Yes, I do remember when we first met at the Christmas party. You kept trying to get my husband alone to talk, and when he refused, you pouted so much that I thought you might throw a tantrum. Do you recall how all of his colleagues were so friendly with me? I remember when you approached my husband and me as we were walking home from my birthday dinner. I'm pretty sure that encounter was a coincidence, but seeing my husband practically leap away from you when you tried to hug him was the highlight of my evening. I'm fully aware that my husband is an attractive man, of course I know that. After all, I married him and we've built a family together. But perhaps you didn't realize that your co-workers, who have only known you for a few months, used to be my co-workers as well. I'm well informed about your attempts to get him alone after meetings, not just from my husband, who told me because you made him feel uncomfortable, but also from others at the office. Did you really think he wouldn't talk to me after you accidentally sent him 2 provocative photos on separate occasions? Did you believe you could actually win him over? Did you look at his Instagram and think, wow, I want that life? All I need to do is lie to his wife, and it'll all be mine. Did you imagine that knocking on my door during a dinner party, handing me fabricated printouts of your supposed conversations with him, would make me lose my mind and divorce him? I'm quite certain that Human Resources has already spoken to you about your inappropriate behavior and the misuse of his personnel file. I'm sure you were shocked. Maybe you didn't think my husband would report it. I don't know what consequences you'll face, and frankly, I don't care. But if you come near me, my husband, our children, or our lovely home again, the police will be called immediately. A word of advice: if you're going to forge messages, you might want to remove the wrong phone number, or at least replace it with a name. Small update she has been terminated from her position with immediate effect. I will provide more updates when we know our next steps. Thank you all for the support so far. It means a lot during this unsettling time. Edit there's a more detailed post regarding the update in the comments where I've replied. Comment did you try using Reddit to find her post? I considered it, but honestly, I don't know what kind of post I'm searching for. Is it a post where she admits to lying to me about a fake affair? Or one where she expresses her desire to have an affair? Or does she actually believe she had an affair? I tried looking for it when she handed me the printouts. She had an entire monologue memoized, complete with apologies, and mentioned Reddit a few times. But I couldn't find anything when I searched that night. It could have been on a different subreddit, or perhaps she deleted it. Comment get a restraining order. If she comes near us again, I'll definitely look into it. I spoke to a friend who is a police officer. He mentioned that we can't do anything yet. If she shows up again, then I will discuss our options with him. It has something to do with intent, if she shows up again, if I recall correctly. Everyone, I truly appreciate all the love and support I've received on this post so far. I didn't expect this much attention or encouragement. I have my family to take care of, and my in-laws are around now. I will reply when I can and hopefully have an update tomorrow or Friday. For those worried about my safety, please don't be. Our security cameras are operational, the kids are safe, the dog is indoors and secure, and our family is around. So if I don't respond for a few hours, rest assured I will return. Comment did she say she accessed his personnel file? Or was it through some other means? Let me try to explain the situation with the personnel file in more detail. The company's systems are still the same as when I left. Everyone uses interconnected systems with their own user profiles. Based on the department you work in, you should have access to various systems relevant to your role. The HR department has a digital personnel system now. Every time you access any file, there's a digital signature in a logging system. So, for example, if someone in HR accessed a file twice in a few days, a colleague in HR could see that while running reports. There have been logs showing that she has been accessing my husband's personnel file. I don't know exactly how many times, but she shouldn't have access to that system at all, as she is in the events department. So either someone gave her HR access, which also means she could edit the files however she wanted, much like editing a Wikipedia page, or it was a system glitch that wasn't picked up. Either way, she was accessing information she shouldn't have been able to, and that's a serious breach of privacy and company policy. Update 1 ***. First, I want to express my deep gratitude to everyone who supported my husband and me in my first post. This update might be a bit lengthy, so I apologize in advance. I probably won't be as articulate as I was initially. By the way, I never found her Reddit post. Some people suggested that there's no smoke without fire. Usually, I would agree and have even made similar comments myself on my main account. But my husband is also on Reddit and saw those comments, and he wanted me to provide some background. My husband holds a high position within the company's marketing department, which works closely with the events team. When they collaborate on a project, big or small, they have to hold meetings. The bigger the project, the more meetings are needed. My husband worked very closely with a colleague who went on maternity leave. The woman in question was highly recommended by a senior employee in the events team. After she received training on the systems, and was brought up to speed by her department head and my husband for a significant project, he was friendly toward her. He remained professional at all times, and their meetings were never one-on-one. The project was a success, and then another big project came up. It was around this time that the woman started acting strangely, just before the Christmas period. She began asking for clarification, after meetings when all points had been thoroughly discussed. When my husband gently rebuffed her and directed her to her own manager, it escalated. She started offering to discuss work matters over coffee, lunch, or dinner numerous times a week. She would compliment him, telling him that he looked good that day. All of this was done using her work email. She met me at the Christmas party and sulked when she couldn't get him alone. A few days later, she sent my husband the first provocative picture via social media. He didn't actually see the picture until after she apologized in person. He accepted her apology before checking his messages when he was back at home with me. She had sent an "oops, sorry, wrong person" message right after it, so when he clicked on that message, the first picture was there, which she could have deleted before he actually saw it. A week later, a similar thing happened with a second picture on a different social media platform. He saw who the message was from and asked me to open it. It was even more suggestive than before. When she apologized, she asked him if he told me about the pictures, as she didn't want me to get the wrong idea since they were both obviously drunken mistakes. She wasn't even a friend on any of his social media, so I don't know how she thought that was an excuse. My birthday came along, and when she tried to hug my husband, he quickly stepped away, as her actions were causing him concern. After that, her behavior calmed down a bit. She stopped asking him to discuss work so much. But then last Monday happened. Update 2 ***. She was fired for sexual harassment and gross misconduct, and this has led to someone else being suspended pending an investigation. As my husband and I were both working from home due to the events of last week, I was unaware at the time of my post that she had been suspended almost immediately after my husband reported the incidents to HR on Wednesday. He provided them with the text exchanges, the messages on his social media, with proof that he never responded, and he printed out the work emails he had received from her. The reason for the rapid response was due to the severity of the allegations. I can confirm that she was officially terminated yesterday. I haven't been told what she said in her defense, but she didn't try to raise any allegations against my husband. In my comments, I explained a bit about the HR department system. The company uses an electronic personnel database, which only HR employees should have access to. No other employee should be able to log into this system. However, an employee in the IT department gave her unauthorized access to the HR system. A report was run, and it was discovered that she had accessed my husband's file 34 times. I don't know exactly what she did in there, but apparently, there were so many changes that they had to restore his file from a recent backup. The IT employee has been suspended pending an investigation. I don't have many details about that, as it's not my place to know. I'm only sharing what I've been told by my husband and former colleagues. The past 48 hours have been overwhelming, but I'm grateful that this post reached other platforms. A relative of hers found the post and reached out to us to apologize for her actions. After exchanging a few messages, we had a very long telephone conversation. I won't go into specifics to respect their privacy, but I can share the following with permission. The woman has been fixated on other men before, resulting in her having an order of protection against her and needing treatment. Her family believes this stems from a traumatic event she witnessed as a child. She is typically very stable when she's on her medication. The problem is that when she feels stable, she believes she's completely healthy and stops taking the medication, which leads to a relapse. The person she had the text exchange with was her teenage niece, who was unaware of her aunt's condition. The niece thought it was a joke, but became scared when we called on Wednesday morning, so she hung up. She reported this to her family, and they found out later that day that the woman had been suspended. Her family found the post and my comment referencing the text exchange, and got my husband's name from her after confirming the post was hers. She is currently staying with other relatives about 4 hours away from us. We will be contacted if she goes missing from their care, especially while the medication is working its way back into her system. We won't be pressing charges at this time, but we've logged everything with the police, especially after discussing it with our friend, who is a police officer. Her family is aware of this. We're updating our home security within the next 2 weeks. The school and daycare are also aware of who is authorized to drop off and pick up our kids, complete with photos. They've also been provided with a photo of her, and instructed to contact my husband and me if they see her near the schools, or if she attempts to pick up our children. Hopefully, I won't need to provide any further updates on this matter. I'm planning to enjoy a bottle of wine, and, hopefully, my husband and I will have a restful night's sleep. Edit The niece found the post and recognized some of the text exchange I referenced in my comments, possibly the part about her kicking me out of my house with my kids, as that was the only part one wasn't too vague about. But I don't actually know what else has gone on in their family behind the scenes, as I didn't speak directly to her. Comments, where I've replied comment. Moving forward, police are aware of the situation, but unless she goes missing from her family's care, and shows up, then I'm okay with how things are. But if that does happen, I will definitely call them again straight away. Comment. What did you mean by amendments? She had changed a lot of information on his personnel file. I'm not allowed to know the exact details, but she had access to everything HR would. They managed to confirm that she didn't access anyone else's file, and the changes were reverted when the backup was restored. Comment. I'm a little sad it came to you posting online for someone to give her the support she needed, but I'm glad she's far away from your family now. If I'd known the full story back then, I probably wouldn't have initially posted, but I'm glad her family took action when they knew she wasn't well again. Comment. Did you ever find her old post? I never found the post, but with so many suggestions, I admit I was overwhelmed. I looked through various posts, and none of them matched. Honestly, I don't know what I'm looking for, because she either fully believes she was having an affair with my husband and posted about that, or she admitted she lied to get me out of the way. I also think it's possible she posted, but changed too many details to remain anonymous, so I couldn't recognize it. I didn't ask her family for her Reddit post history when we spoke. She was never actually involved with my husband, and she wasn't in a relationship either. Hope that answers your questions. Let me know if there's anything else I can clarify. Mini update. We're still in contact with her relative. She's doing better than she was, but the medication still needs time to fully take effect. It took a while and the entire family to convince her why her actions were inappropriate, and that she needed to take her medication. The family is still worried we'll pursue legal action, but we won't at this time. The niece has reached out to apologize for her part, but she's only young. The IT person has been let go. I have a bit more information regarding that. She had asked for access to check her own file to verify a reference. The IT person granted it and forgot to revoke the access. They had also given access to a few other employees. Access has now been revoked from everyone who had an authorized access. I don't know what the company will do with him yet, but I believe they are consulting with their legal team. The senior employee who referred the woman initially has also reached out to apologize. They had no idea there was even an issue until HR spoke to them. We won't be pressing charges against her or the company, as we wish to move on from this as best as we can. We would have if my husband's professional reputation had been tarnished, or if we felt we were in danger. But we're glad nothing more has happened, other than a few new grey hairs on both of us. Update 3 ***. Hello everyone, it's been a while. I was hoping my last update would be the end of everything, but things got even crazier than we could have ever expected. I've tried to write this multiple times, but each time I did, something even more unbelievable happened. So I apologize if this post is a bit rough around the edges. For a while, it all felt like a bad soap opera. Things went from bad to worse to downright ridiculous. A lot has happened since my last post, so I apologize if I ramble. I appreciate it if you've read my other posts so far. If you haven't, here's a quick recap. My husband worked with someone who became infatuated with him and turned up at our house with fake evidence of their affair. She was mentally unwell. So my husband and I agreed with her older brother, Wayne, a fake name, he's the father of the niece, that his sister, Sarah, also a fake name, would go stay with their aunt and uncle 4 hours away. They would help her recover and ensure she stayed on her medication until she was healthy enough to get a job again and be trusted to stay on her medication. Wayne promised us they would contact him if there was anything important to report, and in turn, he would contact us if she went missing from their care. Everything was going smoothly until late March. My phone was inside the house, and I was gardening in the front yard while the weather was warm. I looked up, and Sarah was standing right in front of me. She was smiling and seemed thrilled that she caught me at home, because she kept showing up when none of our cars were in the driveway. Before I could even process her presence, she exclaimed with excitement that she was pregnant and that my husband was the father. I swear my eyebrows furrowed in confusion so much that I couldn't see for a moment. It was evident she hadn't been on her medication, not because she appeared disheveled. In fact, she was dressed very well and looked well cared for, but because she was still under the impression that my husband had this forbidden romance with her. She went on to tell me that their love child was due in mid-June, and that since I had been a wonderful wife and stood by my husband through his infidelity, we needed to get along if I was to be in their child's life. She hoped I wouldn't hold a grudge against their love or their child. All of this would be fine if there was any chance what she said was accurate. But I will state again that there's absolutely no way he could be the father. He doesn't have the time for an affair, with 4 kids, work, our shared social life, and his hobbies that he does at home. Unless he was actively cheating during his commute to and from work, there's no chance. Also, based on her due date, she would have gotten pregnant before she even met my husband. He had a small role in the interview process by glancing over her resume, but they didn't actually meet until she started working. As soon as she left, I found my phone had numerous missed calls from Wayne and messages begging me to call him back. So I called to get more information before contacting my husband. Wayne confirmed that his aunt had slipped up when giving him an update on Sarah's condition, which led to her revealing everything that had happened. I wasn't present for this conversation, so I don't know all the details, but I know there was an argument, resulting in the following discoveries. As soon as she arrived at their aunt and uncle's house, she admitted she was pregnant. They jointly decided she wouldn't take her antipsychotic medication until after she gave birth. She promised to stay away from us until after the baby was born, but was adamant that my husband was the father. Then, the day before, she decided she needed to inform us. She's a curvy woman, so I might not have noticed a 4 to 5 month baby bump when she showed up at my house, especially since I was preoccupied. So much for my observational skills. According to Wayne, their aunt and uncle believed that my husband was the baby's father as a result of a one-night stand, and that he was denying his infidelity to me, causing her to become obsessive. Apparently, she could do no wrong in their eyes, so they accepted all of this and took her at her word without confirming anything with Wayne. All the updates we had from them were just lip service. Wayne was just as upset as we were. He knew his sister was spiraling into delusion, and the family members who were supposed to support her were enabling her instead. I relayed all of this to my husband, who was understandably upset and concerned for our safety. We logged everything with the police and decided to proceed with a restraining order after paternity was proven. At that moment, it was just his word against hers, because my husband couldn't prove he never touched her. The next time Sarah showed up, in early April, we saw her approaching. We sent our kids upstairs and casually walked outside to talk to her. I didn't want to speak with her where there were no cameras. I didn't want her near my kids, and I didn't want her knowing the layout of our home. She asked to come inside and rubbed her rounding stomach. I firmly told her no. My husband told her he wanted a paternity test, which she seemed offended by because she claimed she never cheated on him. But to prove the baby was his, she agreed to have one after the baby was born. As infuriating as the situation was, it's understandable, it was her body, after all. I admit, if this was the first time I'd met her and witnessed the conversation, I might have seriously questioned my husband. She seemed genuine, coherent, and confident. That was the scary part, that she fully believed my husband was her baby's father. I've seen mental illness before, but have never witnessed anything like this. She seemed so sincere. That is, until she asked for money to support his unborn child and to buy things, as even though she was staying with family out of town, and no longer had a job due to her supposed affair being exposed, she wanted to be on her own by the time the baby was born. We refused and told her that if paternity was proven, then we would help. In late April, we received a call from my husband's parents. Despite knowing the whole situation, they asked my husband if there was any chance the baby could be his. After he reaffirmed that it wasn't possible, they explained that Sarah had shown up at their home. She wanted to introduce herself because, once the baby was born, she wanted them involved in the child's life. They already knew who she was and what had happened, so we instructed them not to upset her, as we didn't know what she was capable of, especially since she was pregnant and unmedicated. My husband was disappointed and worried, but understood they had to ask at least once. His denial was enough for them. We don't know how she found their address. We think she may have followed us at some point, or perhaps she obtained it from his personnel file, which might have had his previous address. We checked with our kids to ensure no strangers had approached them, and they confirmed no one had. We even made sure they hadn't been told to keep any secrets. A week after this, she came to our house when we had friends over for a barbecue. Our kids were at my in-laws, and we had an opportunity to try to relax. We briefly discussed recent events with our friends, and then suddenly, she was walking through my kitchen into the garden as if she owned the place. She was cradling her round stomach and started introducing herself. This was the first time our friends saw her, but she wasn't allowed to stay long. My husband quickly ushered her out, followed by me. All our efforts to keep her calm, to avoid triggering a mental health crisis evaporated then. Words were exchanged. We told her she couldn't come to our house, that it was impossible for him to be the father of her unborn child since they had never slept together, never had a relationship, and he didn't owe her any money. My husband vented all his frustrations. We saw Sarah's face sort of break. There was no violence on our part, but for a moment, she looked confused and shocked, and then she left quickly. We called Wayne after she left to inform him of what happened. He searched for her and found her later that night. I began the process of putting our home up for sale. I needed a place that felt secure, and despite loving our home, knowing she could just show up whenever she wanted made me feel unsafe. My husband and I discussed moving forward with the restraining order, but we didn't want to trigger another mental health episode. We heard that after the barbecue, some of our friends weren't entirely convinced by my husband's story and started asking more questions, trying to find inconsistencies. We understand why. They thought that with her being so adamant he was the father, something must have happened at least once, and that I was deluded for believing him. I don't blame them for gossiping. If this were happening to someone I knew, I might think the same. Thankfully, it wasn't any of our close friends or family who were doubting us. She turned up at our house again, when we were visiting my relatives. Our security cameras caught her looking inside through the windows. She didn't seem coherent. She stood outside for a long time, talking gibberish to herself and appearing paranoid. Seeing this made me accept an offer on our home, and choose a lovely new place in a gated community. We're in the process of moving now. Wayne reached out and informed us that Sarah had the baby, who looked a lot like her ex. He asked if my husband still wanted to proceed with the DNA test, as it was obvious the child wasn't his. My husband agreed, because he wanted to put this behind us and remove any possible doubt. I told him I never doubted him. I was scared of the situation, and behind closed doors, we had heated discussions, because of the stress, but never because I thought he could be the father. We also agreed to the test, so she couldn't claim child support in the future. The aunt and uncle have been corrected on their misunderstanding, and were berated for enabling Sarah's behavior. According to Wayne, once they understood what had actually happened, they were mortified and asked him to pass on their apologies. He's taken some time off work, and will be staying with them for a while. After Sarah had the baby, her brother, aunt, and uncle gave her an ultimatum: take her medication in front of them every day and avoid contacting us, or they would place her in a mental health facility while her brother cared for the newborn until she was well enough to be released. She agreed to take the medication. The DNA test came back, and unsurprisingly, my husband is not the father. The look of relief and happiness on his face was priceless. It's been a crazy 6 months, but things have calmed down now. Sarah is apparently doing well, but is still struggling as a new mother. Wayne is encouraging her to get in contact with her ex. She's slowly coming to terms with the fact that she didn't have an affair with my husband now that the medication is taking effect. I gave some baby essentials to Wayne to pass on to her since I'm packing up for the move anyway. I may have missed a few events, but if you need any clarification, let me know. I'm just glad life seems to be returning to normal. Asterisk asterisk comments, where I've replied asterisk asterisk. Asterisk asterisk comment asterisk asterisk police involvement. We're moving forward with obtaining a restraining order. Sorry my post was so long. I had rewritten it several times and may have omitted some relevant details. The incidents were logged with the police each time, but often she did nothing but talk, no threats or violence, just odd conversations at best. Also, my husband wanted to clear his name first, and to do that, he needed to get the DNA test done. A restraining order might have complicated that process. He wanted to prove to me that he hadn't cheated. Asterisk asterisk comment asterisk asterisk. Have you ever dealt with a mentally unstable person who just shows up out of nowhere when you least expect it? Panicking is the worst thing you can do, because you don't think clearly when you panic. It's best to stay calm and avoid confrontation. We did lose it once when she turned up at the barbecue. This woman completely believed she and my husband were in love and was 100% convinced her baby was his. And yes, I care about the well-being of an innocent child. I'm a mother of 4. I can't imagine what it must be like for her, being mentally unwell and a new mother. Hope this helps. Asterisk asterisk comment asterisk asterisk. Did you tell the people buying your home? Don't worry, we've already made them aware of why we're moving. Asterisk asterisk comment asterisk asterisk. I wouldn't have given her anything. She honestly doesn't know the items are from us. I say that because she wouldn't suspect we'd give her anything after everything that's happened. I told Wayne and his wife that I didn't want her to know who the items were from. He can say he picked them up at a thrift store, or that a friend knew his sister was expecting. Many of the items we had were in pristine condition. Aside from the boxes looking a bit worn, you wouldn't know they're not new. Asterisk asterisk comment asterisk asterisk. Why didn't you get a DNA test during the pregnancy? We know there are blood tests available, but she refused and wanted to wait until after the baby was born. We weren't going to force a mentally unwell pregnant woman to do something she didn't want to do. We didn't want to risk her harming herself or us. Asterisk asterisk comment asterisk asterisk. Why was your husband relieved? He believed that I thought I had doubts about him, that there was a little voice in the back of my mind telling me he did it, that she was his mistress, and he got her the job at the company to spend more time together. You know, the usual soap opera storyline. I hope this clarifies everything. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to know. We're just grateful that this chapter of our lives seems to be closing, and we can move forward with peace of mind.